So friends, today's story is going to be very amazing and romantic, so keep watching the whole story. In the beginning of the story, a lawyer named Annie is shown, and we get to know the name of Annie's husband is Peter, and along with this both of them also have 2 daughters. Actually, we get to know that Annie is Peter's second wife. Because Peter had sold the first wife and eaten her up, we get to know that Peter's first wife's name was Rebecca. Apart from this, Peter and Rebecca also had a son named Gustakh. We get to know that once Peter calls his elder son Gustakh to stay at his house, then Annie's 2 daughters welcome him at his house because he is the son of his first wife and he did not live with them after calling his son. When his son comes to him, he was very happy to see this. Here Gustakh is very close to his father and his stepmother. He was not very happy, rather he was sad because he felt that his father had left his mother because of this woman. The next morning we see that Nay goes to meet her sister, after which she is returning to her home. After meeting her, while returning home, she finds a ring lying on the road, and this ring belongs to Gustakh because his daughter had gifted this ring to Gustakh when she was on a trip to India. When Annie recognized the ring that had come home, she took it in her purse and came home. At this time she saw that Gustakh and Peter were fighting because Gustakh did not like to live with his father, due to which Peter also became very depressed. Then his wife explained to him that it will take a lot of time for Gustakh to mix with them. Next evening we see that when Nay comes home after completing her work from the office, she sees that the window pane of her house is broken. When she goes inside, she finds out that someone has stolen her chain. Now Nay searches all around the house, but she does not understand who stole it, after which she complains to the police. After sometime we see that Annie is washing Gustakh's pet, where she finds a gold chain in his pocket, and it is the same chain which was stolen from his cupboard. When Gustakh comes home, Annie shows him the chain and asks him how he got it. Annie threatens Gustakh with the police and says that he should tell the truth, otherwise she will call the police. Hearing this, Gustakh gets scared and tells the whole truth, but now Gustakh had no way to escape, after which he was killed. Annie gives him an option and says that if you mix well with us, then I will not tell this to anyone, after which Gustakh also agrees to this, and he slowly starts behaving well with all of them and starts living together. Now only a few days had passed when Gustakh gets a little too mingled, and he takes his setting to his house and shows it to his mom, after which he takes his setting with him to his room. But Gustakh's naughtiness and today is disturbing Annie. The next morning we see that Annie takes Gustakh and her daughters to a river for swimming because Gustakh had become very close to all the family members, and after coming home that night Annie and Gustakh talk a lot, and in the course of conversation Annie tells Gustakh that she likes this tattoo of yours very much, because Annie also has the same tattoo on her hand. Now in the next scene we see that Peter holds a small party at his home where a lot of people come, after which he gets busy with his people, due to which Annie starts getting bored in the party, due to which Annie goes and sits somewhere in a kopek, and taking advantage of this opportunity Gustakh also comes there and starts entertaining her, after which he takes her to the club, and here Annie gets drunk and starts talking to Gustakh on every small thing. Now a lot of time passes, but Annie keeps thinking about how he kissed her. Now Annie's itch was increasing, and because she could not tolerate it, one night she enters Gustakh's room and then breaks the bed and romances with him. Gustakh also plays Nay's drums very well. Now slowly Nay and Gustakh were getting addicted to doing this. Now Peter had no idea what was going on inside him, but he was very happy thinking that his family has met someone else. One day we see that Gustakh starts recording all his conversations while talking to Kani, and then one day Nay organizes a party where Gustakh kisses Annie after seeing her alone, and while doing this Annie's sister Leela sees him, and seeing this she gets scared. Without any fear she leaves from there without saying anything to anyone. Now she becomes very worried that she might tell the truth to Peter. The next morning we see that Nay and Gustakh meet in a forest area, and here Nay tells Gustakh that from now on we will not meet and our affair ends here, and when she goes home she sees that on reaching home she dies first. Gustakh is present there, who is talking to Peter here. Peter asks Gustakh to go camping, to which Gustakh agrees. Now after going inside, Peter tells Annie that he got a call from Lena, but he could not pick up the phone on time, due to which the call got disconnected. Now Annie gets very scared of this, after which she immediately reaches her sister Lena's house and tells her that she has ended her relationship with Gustakh, and from now on she should not try to tell this to anyone. But Lena was very angry with Annie and she starts asking her to leave from there. Now after this a lot of time passes, but Annie's fear was still not over. Here we see that Gustakh and Peter come home after camping, and after coming home Peter calls Annie and says that I have a feeling that you and Gustakh are having an affair. Annie has come to know everything about her, and it is not Lena but Gustakh himself who has told her about this, on which Nay says that this is not true. Gustakh is lying so that we both get divorced, and he brings his mom Rubika here, but Peter does not listen to Annie, due to which Annie gets very angry, after which she threatens Peter to leave her house and also tells him that Gustakh had stolen her house, and here Nay somehow convinces Peter and takes him with her. Now the next morning we see that Peter questions Nay and Gustakh by making them sit in front of each other. When Gussa realizes that Peter is now on his mom's side, he throws a tantrum on Annie's face, after which Gussa leaves from there. Ray immediately leaves for boarding school, but now Peter was missing Gustakh a lot. Then we see that one day Gustakh meets Annie and asks her to tell Peter the truth. If she does not tell Peter the truth, Gustakh will file a case against her, but Annie says that she will not tell anyone anything because she was a lawyer by profession and no one can argue with her better. Now this mission of Gustakh also fails, due to which he cries a lot. Now after some time we see that it is Christmas night, where Gustakh comes to his house and comes in front of Varney and says that he wants to meet his father, after which Annie refuses to introduce him to his father. After some time we see that it is Annie's birthday and her sister Lena also comes to her birthday party. The next day Peter gets a call from Rubika. Peter Nay tells her that Nay is missing from the boarding school, but Peter does not take her words seriously because he thinks that Nay is playing a prank. After some time he finds her dead body. After seeing this Peter cries a lot. Then Nay comes to him to support him, but Peter threatens her by putting his hand on her mouth. After this the next morning the whole family goes together for her last journey, and this is where the story ends.